D23 Radio, your information station.
It's a pleasure to see you again. Certainly we've been very excited about what is coming for CarsLand. We heard you talk a little bit at the Parks and Resorts presentation the other day. Can you tell us a little more about sort of where we are?
You mean in construction?
Sure, where we are construction-wise and some of the things that you, obviously you have a great model of red behind you.
Right, this is the actual red that's going to go into the show, into Radiator Springs Racer. It's our first figure that was ready, so we thought we would bring him out here to D23. So where we are in construction is we've been under construction now for a little over 2 years. Our mountain is nearing completion within the next couple months. So every day another layer of scaffolding comes down, so it's slowly revealing itself to us. It's gorgeous. The ride for Radiator Springs Racers, everything's installed, and we start ride testing next week, the end of next week, August 25th. So we are just moving along like crazy for the big e-ticket ride. The show sets are going in, and like I said, the ride will be testing soon. We have a ride vehicle here, so the ride vehicles are in production and delivering. So it's all moving along really quickly.
You're getting closer.
Downtown Radiator Springs is coming together so beautiful too. The buildings, the other two attractions we have, which is Mater's Junket Jamboree and Luigi's Flying Tires, are also coming along.
Everybody smiles when they talk about Luigi's Flying Tires.
It's going to be so much fun. It's really going to be just a kick.
And for people that don't know, that's sort of based on an older attraction from Disneyland, sort of reusing some old technology.
Yeah, there was an attraction at Tomorrowland that closed in, I think, 1965 called the Flying Saucers. And we've always wanted to bring those back. And when we were brainstorming CarsLand and concepting CarsLand, we needed an attraction that would be behind Luigi's Casa de la Tires. And what's more perfect than sitting in a tire and flying around? So the two ideas came together nicely. Because, first and foremost, we were about our story, and that's the first thing we really focus on. But this was the chance to bring that attraction back.
Yeah, and it was one of those things that you look at the old videos from the late 50s, you wonder how the lawyers actually let that attraction open. Yeah. But it seemed like a lot of fun for those people that didn't fall off, so obviously we were able to sort of plus that up a little bit.
It's one of those rare Disney attractions where you the guest, you the flyer, control where you go. They don't take you on a track. You get to go out there and do it. It'll be just, I think people are going to have so much fun with it, with or without the nostalgia into it.
And the interesting thing to me about CarsLand, I mean, certainly it's all about story, it's what that but you really get the sense that you are sort of plucked and dropped right into the middle of the Cars movie as soon as you start down the street. And the size and the expansiveness of all of Radiator Springs and the mountain range behind you is enormous.
Right, and that's exactly right. And our motto from the beginning was immersion. We want to take you into that movie. We want to put you in the middle of Radiator Springs. And that's what we're doing. We're blocking out the entire outside world, and you are walking down a movie set. I think people are going to love it. I think it's going to feel, new and exciting. And on one hand, I think it's going to feel very familiar.
Sure.
Love the movie.
But as much as we love that old sort of nostalgic Route 66 walking down the street, everybody wanted to be Lightning McQueen. Everybody wanted to sort of, my 6-year-old son still believes that on his little big wheel he's Lightning McQueen. But now we all sort of can be because the Radiator Springs Racers is sort of that very much immersive experience. The cars sort of shape maybe a little bit familiar, but this really is sort of your chance to get inside Lightning McQueen.
Right, well these ride vehicles, they're not a specific character from the film, but they look, as you can see, they look like they belong in the world of cars. They've all got smiles, they've all got eyes, and we have 8 different motor vehicles that you get to come in.
Seeing some of the faces connected with,
and so like you said, you get to go and sort of experience what it's like to race side by side with another car. That's how the show ends. Is you come out of the building and you're racing another car. You never know who's going to win. It's just a random finish. So it's one of those nose-to-nose, really close races the entire time.
So it uses a technology, I assume, very similar to what we have in Walt Disney World for Test Track?
Very similar to Test Track.
But yeah, the thing that appeals to me most about this is not sort of getting to be one of these characters, but that idea of that race at the very end. And so now you've got, your mom and dad or your brother and sister in the car next to you.
Right.
So.
Yep. I think people are going to get such a thrill out of it. At the same time, we're telling you a really rich story, and you get to see all your characters that you love from the film. Lightning
Kathy, as my physique probably has already hinted to you, I'm all about the food, so is there going to be places to don't laugh. Are there going to be places to eat inside CarsLand specifically as well?
There's going to be a couple spectacular places. Flo's V8 Cafe is our biggest restaurant, and that food is based on what you get on Route 66, which is you get some really wonderful food. Sure. So you can think of it as comfort food or diner food, but it's delicious. It's really going to be good. And then we have Sally's Cozy Cones across the street from Flo's, and each individual cone that you get to walk up to has a different snack food in it. All cone themed snack food. So, because Sally loves her cones, and those are delicious. One of the perks of working on a job like this is you get to taste the food, and we tasted all the food, and it's really good.
I love the idea of food in a cone.
I do.
But it's all about authenticity as well. Authenticity. I haven't had my coffee yet. And you guys actually went out to Route 66. I mean, you sort of
We did.
And sort of wanted to see what it really was like to bring that
Well,
experience here.
it was really important to us that we get to know the people on the road and the places on the road that influenced the movie. So we really took the same route that the Pixar team did when they were working on Cars, the first movie. And the reason being, not, I guess you could say, well, we can just watch the movie and recreate that, but in CarsLand you go inside these buildings, so you don't necessarily go inside and look at the movie. And we wanted you to feel like you were really in the shop or the restaurant that is owned and operated by this particular character, whether it's Flo or Ramon or Sally, and the attitude and the humor and the character of the people on the road is reflected in what they do, their shops that you go into, their restaurants, and we wanted to do the same thing here. So we did a lot of research, probably took 10,000 books.
Wow. Of course, it doesn't sound like the worst research trip in the world.
It was probably the most fun research trip I've ever been on. It was really so much fun.
And that's what I mean. It's like CarsLand isn't just about Cars, the animated film. It's you're really getting a sense of Americana and nostalgia put in there.
Right. There's a real important story that's told about the interstate bypassing Route 66 and what that did to some of those towns. And luckily, Route 66 is making a real revival now that people are really paying attention to it. And it's because many towns have come back. A lot of it is because of Cars. You travel Route 66 and you see a lot of Cars-related signs and posters and references. They really did help the road. But it was really important to us to just get it right. It is an important story. And we're not all that far from Route 66 here in Anaheim either. So we've got our own Route 66.
And the question on everybody's mind is, when can we start to experience it?
Next summer. Summer 2011. Very soon.
Not soon enough. Not soon enough.
Well, yes.
So yeah, this is definitely a reason if you aren't from this area to come back when it opens.
It's going to change Disney California Adventure. I think it's going to change the Disney Resort. It's such an attraction. It's going to be such a pull. Yeah.
Looking forward to it. Kathy,
Thank you so much.
Thank you so very much. Appreciate it.